Going live.
My wife just ordered me like almost all of their shirts.
There. Good.
Good. All right. Welcome, welcome. This is the Anime Detour 2025 cycle's second January meeting. Very exciting. Our second meeting in the same month. We'll do that one more time in February, and then the battle plan and the convention in March. So I guess we're meeting twice in March.
Which means we only got a couple months until the convention.
Yeah. This is good, but I did put a slightly scary title to this meeting, Approaching Deadlines. At this point, everything's going to be deadlines, so please just make sure that you are paying attention to your email, that you're paying attention to what people need from you, that you're paying attention to the global calendar. We're going to try to shout out things as much as we can in this group setting, but obviously I know not everybody's here, and sometimes things are going to need to turn around fast. If you realize life is happening and you are not able to respond quickly to things, please make sure someone in your department is. Please make sure you let your division head know, hey, I'm really busy right now. I'm having trouble. Here is a person to talk to if you can't get me. This is the time when things can fall through the cracks. We want to avoid that as much as possible so that when we all get to the con on Thursday, we're not suddenly running around trying to make things happen that we thought were already set. That tends to happen every year, and I want to minimize it this year. So, hope, hope. But, welcome. Usual start to this. We will go through the various divisions and do any announcements. IT, I think only the shadow member of IT is here.
They're having a hard time hearing you.
Oh.
It should be getting better.
Okay.
All right. I'm told that we're having a hard time hearing me. Hopefully, I'm getting louder as we go. Also, I'm hoping that the chat can see this new white on black version a little bit better than the black on white. Please do let us know if that is more readable. We did it seconds before we went live, so if something comes up looking funny, sorry. But yeah, try again. IT. Anybody here to announce anything for IT? Okay.
Christina's shaking her head, so we're gonna go for that.
I know you have stuff on merchandise, but I properly incorporated it, so we'll come back to you at the bottom.
Okay.
Programming, Jesse.
I'm going to come up to the podium.
Hey.
All right, so programming submissions are closing midnight on January 31st. Currently, we're sitting at about 180 submissions.
Woo.
So, yeah, we're pretty busy. I sent a bunch of emails yesterday with questions on some panel submissions just to get some more information. So, don't be scared if you're watching this and I emailed you. It's nothing bad. It just means we needed some more. Also, many of us will not be at the February 8th meeting because we're holding our all-day meetings. If you ask me right now, when is this panel going to be on the schedule? I have no answer for you, but after then we should have an answer for you. So those are kind of the big programming things going on right now. Anything else, Dave?
It's cold outside.
It sure is cold outside.
How many programming slots are there? How many panel slots?
I guess I don't really know because sometimes we have to take up 2 slots for one thing, so it's a couple hundred-ish.
Yeah,
it varies based on irregularly.
Somewhere around 200, but yeah, a lot of acts
So there's
and
still
events and
space
things.
if you want to get your panel in.
There is.
Okay.
Just be very clear with what you're going to be doing. If we understand what sort of presentation you're hoping to make, you're much more likely to get accommodated than if you just say, we're going to show up and hopefully the audience will run our panel for us. That's not really what we're looking at.
What was the date of that that meeting? You said you want not to be presented?
It is February 8th is when we are doing our big meeting.
Also, I know we're 4 days past your deadline for other departments to send you anything else that needs to be on the schedule. So hopefully, if you have anything from your department that needs to be on the schedule, you have already told programming. If not,
Hurry up.
send them a message immediately with how many time slots you need, and then get details as soon as you can. But immediately get the space so that when that
Yeah,
February 8th meeting happens,
we want to know when that stuff is going to be, so we don't accidentally schedule too many other.
yeah.
Just remind them, even though it's the 8th, you don't get email confirmations on the 9th.
Yes, it usually takes us about a week to make sure things aren't totally messed up, and then you should expect a confirmation about a week after.
Yeah, it's very, very easy right now to add things to the schedule. After that meeting, it's very, very hard. So.
Yes, and usually we end up making someone else sad, so we don't want to make someone else sad.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jesse. Themes. Colin here? I can briefly say, there is still a games committee. We've had more meetings, we've had more development. That's all you get to know. Actually, many of you will probably be getting emails from either Colin or I shortly to see if your department or you yourself are willing to do a thing. You won't probably fully understand what it is you're doing, but you might need to receive a passphrase and give a passphrase back. So, if you get an email like that, enjoy. Let us know if you can. Video gaming, I don't believe we have any updates. I'm going to be meeting with Robbie pretty soon, so we might have some stuff at the next meeting. ComSuite, I think you're pretty set to go, Aaron. Anything you need to announce?
I sent out the department order.
Cool.
That's it.
So if you're a department head, you should have got an email from Aaron. Make sure you get back to him if you've got any requests and stuff.
Yep. And we'll revisit this later, but I know that's a form you sent out, but it's not on the master forms directory. Don't worry, everyone's guilty right now. Except ops. Go ops. All right, and then if we want to loop back around to merchandise. Whee.
Alright.
Tell me when I should put up the pretty.
You can put it up, it's fine.
All right.
Okay, I finally started ordering stuff. Yay, I have a sample of our shirt this year.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Phoebes and Dion, for getting the art done. Colin put the words on it for me, so I didn't have to this year. And he recommended gold, and we made gold happen. The women's shirt is a slightly lighter shade of gold, but it's still gold. It's beautiful. Then we've got pins coming, and then this year lots of people wanted sweatpants. And we're getting a slightly different hoodie. We're gonna get hockey hoodies is what they're called, but they look cool. I haven't ordered those yet, so I'm still trying to figure out how I want them to look. And then the next one, sunglasses. We've had them before, we just needed more. And they work great with our theme. And then we're getting sling bags this year. And we got Tomo to do a tentacle kitty for us, and she's tentacle kitties going on sling
So
bags.
adorable.
So I'm very excited. And I might be ordering some stickers with more tentacle kitties because I got a bunch of tentacle kitty art. So,
Can I have you hold the shirt
Yes.
stable?
oh,
For
I
people,
was wiggling it.
You were
yeah.
wiggling it. You want to come up just a little bit
I thought
closer?
about wearing it, and then I was like, I don't want to be that kind of model. So,
Awesome.
yeah,
Who did the shirt art?
Deanne.
Thank you,
And
Christy.
that's it. Just, I'm getting everything shipped to my house this year, so I'm gonna get to go to the storage locker with a bunch of boxes. So that'll be fun.
All right. Niketa's division starts with facilities. And yeah, he and I are mostly doing that. Been quiet for a little bit. We are going to start sending out some more details about the exact specifications of room sets, anything that has an actual layout. If you do that kind of thing, you'll probably be getting a, hey, this is what we already have. Do you need anything to change this year? Kind of email.
General reminder, if you need something set up for a room, let us know.
Yeah.
The form is out to everybody. Fill it out.
Yeah. Yeah, the room set, which I haven't actually added to the directory yet, so bad me. But I'll put that one in there as well. You do have access to it already if you're a department head. It's sitting in there in the shared drive. but I'll get it on the directory as well. So do look through it, just make sure that your rooms look like what you think they look like. Marketing.
Marketing, I know I spoke to Mark the other week. He had some meetings about some sponsorships, which may or may not, probably not happen this year. It's something more for the future, just due to timing and everything on that. Otherwise, I know he was reaching out to some local stores and stuff to hang out some flyers and get some advertisement up that way. But I don't have any other announcements from him. Operations,
Anything
I know.
else?
I know one announcement you've got. You want to come up, I'll let you do it.
All right. Once again, radio training after the meeting. If you've already done it, you don't have to do it a second time. It is a one and done deal. So once you've done it, you're good. You don't have to stick around for it today. If you haven't done it yet, remember the training is the only way you get to touch a radio this year. There will be badge ribbons to distinguish who has done it and who hasn't.
And also remember, you might not want to touch a radio, but if your department head wants you to touch a radio, then you should learn how.
Yeah, then you're gonna probably have to learn how. Also, separately from that, well, related to that, I will send out an email probably later today, excuse me, with a couple of times for doing some online training. So, for those who can't make it to a meeting, we'll do that too. And separately from that, if you're in our department, please check your email and your event in the inbox, because there's a couple messages that have gone out. There's going to be some more going out about some additional trainings soon. That's it.
And I think Eventing generally sends you an email unless you turned that off in your settings.
It
but
usually does, but if
yeah.
people missed it, you can go check in Eventing too. They'll have a
Sometimes the
little
Eventity emails do look like spam. So just
Yeah,
if
they
you
do.
get something from Eventity, just make sure you check what it's actually trying to tell you.
it might actually be something you care about.
Registration, I know Clarissa did send me a note that she does not have any updates at the moment. We're still kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern until we get a little bit closer to the convention there.
Yep. Reservations, Dave and or Mike.
Well, I gotta meet with Dave here after the meeting about that. The other reservation announcement I had is if you are a staff looking to get a staff room in, get it in now. By the end of the month here, once we finalize that staff list, we're gonna start releasing those staff rooms back to the general public, because we do have deadlines of when we can get the hotel rooms booked by before the hotel will just release them to everybody. And we don't want that. We don't want random non-con goers in the hotel. It creates difficulties.
And I think that applies to both versions. So if you're doing your own reservation in the staff block and then seeking reimbursement, or not reimbursement, seeking payment coverage, do that before the end of the month. If you are seeking to get assigned a roommate, do that before the end of the month. We are going to start going pretty fast once this month ends.
Yeah,
So-
once it's February, if you're a department that needs
you're in.
rooms for either guests you're bringing in, artists and vendors as well, make sure they know that they have to get them in pretty fast. It's usually mid-February, the hotel will shut down the reservation block. It's about a month out from the convention is the hotel's deadline.
Yeah.
So,
We should come up with an exact deadline for when we want that
yeah,
stuff.
I'm getting clarification from Jackie because she gave me a couple different dates on it. So when I have clarification, I'll let the people who have the links know for artist vendors and room parties. But just know you might want to keep pressure up on people, because once we hit that deadline, getting rooms becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't want to say impossible because we have done it in the past, but don't make me do that.
But I know
Because we're
there's-
going to make Dave do it.
There's a pretty good number of departments at this point that do provide rooms to somebody. So make sure that you know your number again at least very soon. If if details are a little forthcoming, that's fine. But make sure that you know what that total number is going to be in the very near future.
And if you don't know when somebody's checking in or checking out, get us information about the room. We can book them for a Friday to Saturday room, and we can extend it to a Thursday or Monday checkout. Much easier than getting them in the room after the fact.
All right. Room parties. Anything Echo?
We have about 6 room parties that are already approved. We have like 4 or 5 that I'm waiting to hear back from right now. And it would also be good if they could actually be pushed on socials for the application. I
Okay.
did fill out the form that I was sent to for social, but nothing's been posted in a week on socials.
Okay. What is your deadline for room party applications?
It is currently set for the end of the month. I would like to get them filled as soon as possible, so getting more people to know that they can apply would be good.
Yeah.
I also have some questions about past room party, like documents and stuff, which we can chat about a little bit later, because I don't have access to everything, apparently, so.
Yeah,
Sounds
we'll,
good.
we'll talk after the meetings.
Yeah.
I thought I got you the access to the drive, but I don't know what's in the drive.
Like the old application stuff, the old like lists of like room parties that were approved in the past and stuff. I don't have access to any of that. It'd be convenient to be able to reach out to those people too.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll talk after.
yeah,
We'll
that's-
find where it's at then.
Okay. So if that didn't all get picked up on the mic, room parties is in progress. Some have been approved, more are applying, and applications are open to the end of the month. So if you want to run one, or you know somebody who does, make sure that they get that application in before the end of the month. Photography, Dan.
Danny.
Nothing particular. I think just, you know, I could use probably more staff. So
So if you know anybody who wants to be just a photography staff, tell them to email Danny.
I will say I have a lot of photography work, but also non-photography. So if you're not comfortable taking pictures with big fancy cameras, I got a lot to do. So it doesn't have to just be that.
You need wranglers, editors, things
Yeah.
like that. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Buttons. Buttons unfortunately got called into work today, so that is why she's not here. I don't think we got a lot from her as far as these notes, so we'll just go through the list. Do we have anybody from Artist Alley?
Sort of. I could do a joint Artist Alley Exhibit Hall one.
Sure.
We are getting our,
Come on up, Alyssa. So, Alyssa, primarily from Exhibit Hall, but you know about Artist Alley too.
well, Artist Alley and Exhibit Hall share a lot of things, so we have a lot of information going between the two of us. We are going to be sending out our emails soon about the blocks for hotels that is in existence. We just have a couple of clarifying questions we need answered before we can send that message. And otherwise, we're pretty much set for everything to be good and to go for Artist Alley and Exhibit Hall this year. I'm really excited about it. Thanks.
All right. Charities. Jacob, anything?
Just a couple things.
no.
The biggest. Oh, come on. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Let everybody see your pretty face.
Just a couple things. Mainly on probably going to be. There's been a lot of suggestions coming in for which charities to go with. I have been reading them all. I know I haven't been too responsive. Work's been just really hectic. I'm probably not going to be accepting new suggestions for charities after about midway through the week, just because I have to go in and look at all the charities that get suggested to make sure I figure out which ones are good. So that's probably going to be stopping, I think, sometimes mid this week, because I want to pick out which one we're going to go with probably by the end of the week. I'm probably still going to stick with just one, because otherwise it gets a little hectic to go with more than one, and just kind of what I'm seeing as general consensus from everyone. It sounds like we're probably still going to stick with one this year, and I'm probably, if people want to pay attention, who are in that charity auction group chat, I'm probably also going to schedule a meeting a little bit once I get closer to the end of this week. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm going to do it, and I'll probably try to coordinate in there, and if people want to help me pick out which one we want to go with, that's something we can do and coordinate on which one we're kind of all thinking.
That's a Discord channel?
Yep, it is a Discord channel, yep.
Okay.
Everybody wants to get in there who's not, just,
And it's within the staff Discord?
it is within the staff Discord, correct. Thank you for clarifying that, yep.
So I think
So-
most of you are in that, but if you're not, send, I guess, IT
I can, yeah, I think,
to get into the staff Discord?
I have no idea.
I think anybody who's in the staff Discord should be able to create an invite for it.
Well, no, you should only be getting in the staff. Once you have been accepted and approved as staff in EventMe, then you are provided with a link to get into the staff Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's at the bottom of your application.
Okay, so it's on your event in the application.
So, yep, that's pretty much all I have on that one, just because it takes a little bit to get, make sure we get that all figured out, and again, we want to get that figured out hopefully by the end of this month, if not, you know, hey, a little bit into next month if we really have to, but, because we want to get that finalized soon, so. That's
Sounds
pretty much it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cosplay, Jess L. and Ricky. Anything?
Thank you for fixing it.
Okay.
I don't think we have.
Well,
No one else, I'm sure. Exhibit Hall we already did. Guests, I think we have we made the last couple of announcements?
I think you're waiting on headshot and bio.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Yeah, the one that Buttons has been like vibrating about for like 6 months.
There's one more guest announcement coming.
Yes, and yeah, she is very excited. I understand why. Tabletop. Do we have anybody from Tabletop? I know we pretty much already got that they're basically ready to go. So I don't know how many more announcements we're expecting from Tabletop, but there. And then Cass, we thought she was going to be here, but she texted me a little bit ago and said that she's having car trouble and did send me a couple of announcements. So I'll call out the ones that I don't have for. Accessibility. Anybody from accessibility?
We are looking for staff to help run the quiet room because this year we will not be outsourcing to have it staffed.
Okay.
So if anyone is interested in that, please let me know.
Okay. So I think Kaida from accessibility? From the back, if you couldn't hear that on the microphone, it said that the quiet room is something we're trying to staff ourselves instead of having an outside group doing it, and we need bodies. There is currently nobody on staff doing that, so again, you don't have to be specifically in accessibility to do that, but let the accessibility at NMADtour.com know if you're willing to do that, or I don't know if you've got something on Help Wanted in the Discord, but might put it there too.
I put something up, but I'm going to be putting more to
Okay.
with more info.
Sounds good. Do try to pay attention to the Help Wanted on the Discord. I'm guessing a lot of things are going to start popping up on that fairly shortly. So if you aren't fully committed to every last hour of Anime Detour to what you're doing yet, a lot of groups I do know, a lot of departments will need help. So. Logistics. I mostly have a note to just push that we really do need somebody. Not even necessarily to be the head, like a lot of these positions that we've had open for a while. You don't necessarily need to commit to being the head going forward, but we do kind of need somebody to run point at the convention itself. So if you believe that you can do that, or if you are feeling like getting into something over your head, please volunteer for that. And again, if you want to do it with 2 or 3 other friends and kind of have all of you do that, so lighten the load a little bit, spread it out a little bit, that would be great. And yeah, same thing too, if you are willing to help out in that process, please do that. Cass does say each department is going to be expected this year to have somebody ready to assist with unloading the truck, so that can go as quickly as possible. So that typically happens on Thursday, I think around midday, late morning, midday.
Late morning, yeah.
Yeah.
There's truck loads throughout the day, late morning, early afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes, Jess?
Just to clarify, are you wanting one person per department to help for in general, or just to make sure you have your department stuff fresh?
Not clear. I'm guessing it's a little of column A and a little column B. General help, as well as when your department stuff comes off the truck, having someone to
The more hands we have on deck for logistics, the faster we can get into the hotel.
And also to the latter point, if they know where they're taking this stuff, it goes much faster than taking the stuff off the truck and not knowing where it's supposed to be going, so.
Yeah. All right, staffing. I think we heard Liz is still a little bit under the weather, so she's not here. I don't think anybody else from staffing is here. I do know quite a lot of things are coming up for staffing at the end of this month and the start of next month. So please communicate with them. Please get your forms filled out. Again, whatever hotel benefit you're trying to get, make sure you filled that form out. If you haven't reserved your room or asked for a roommate yet, make sure you get that form filled out as soon as possible. This is all going to happen fairly quickly. We're going to try to make sure that everyone has confirmation. And at the end of February is like, I'm not worried about my hotel arrangement. I know what it is. I think that'd be really nice to have. So.
Yeah.
Tech. Do we have Bruce in chat or anybody else with anything to say about it?
Nothing that I can see.
I know we've had several meetings besides these meetings with tech recently, so I think we've ironed out a lot of, just things that needed clarification, needed some detail work on. But yeah, I don't think anything major. I don't think we got an email from Lee this time around. Anybody else from video here?
I guess if there was gas.
Yeah. Volunteers. Anything for volunteers to announce?
I know she's in the chat, but I haven't seen anything.
Well, we'll come back to it if they post anything.
Yeah. And then video production, again, that is back open. Our original person was not able to stay as the head on that. I do know that Cass has been talking to some new people, does have a new possible person who might apply. But again, if you are at all interested in that or helping out with that department, please do get that application in or alter your current event application and
They
indicate
just
your
want to
interest.
be the general staff in that department. They are looking just for bodies too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I will say again too, if you are general staff right now and you want to talk to the chair team, talk to Liz about where you might want to be as far as your home department, now is a good time to do that as well. Then you can get on that department's vouching list and kind of start figuring out what you are going to do for the con this week. And then I had a slide in here last time about themes. The chair team has selected a theme. I'm not going to say anything more than that. It will be revealed at closing ceremonies as per usual.
Update from video.
Yeah.
They have had a meeting to pick titles for the disc room and have started to contact companies for permission.
Okay, so video, if you didn't hear that, has started to select what they're going to pick, what they're going to put together as far as the schedule for the disc room, which I'm really glad we're having a disc room again. I think it's sad when we don't. And they're also have been reaching out to streaming platforms to see which ones they might go with there.
What is it, this like DVDs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Physical media.
They still exist somewhere.
Viva physical media.
Yes.
Turns out that no CEO can suddenly decide that you don't want that anymore.
Don't give them ideas.
All right, as always, please apply for staff and leadership. We don't have a ton of open positions at this point. We've pretty much got a plan for the ones we do have, but we would certainly love to still get a couple applications, fill a few of those spots. So.
As much as I know, Buttons loves being the head of guests. We could use a guest head, I suppose, to help her.
She talks about it all the time, how much she loves it.
Yeah.
ATC.
Oh. Okay, we just had our January meeting, and we went over bylaws, proposal to change our bylaws. And basically, most people here probably got a copy of it in their email, so you can look over them. We'll be sending out a link for voting to approve them to the people that have earned voting rights for this cycle. And hopefully we pass those. It will make my life a lot easier. Otherwise, not a ton coming up for the board. There's no special events right now. It's kind of the slow season. Yay. And that's it.
Thanks for your interest. This slide that I just have stuck in here as a permanent fixture now. Sorry.
Update from volunteers said she did send you an email, but they are still requesting volunteer numbers from all departments, and that will close on end of January.
Okay. And I think I'm going to go over that when we go through the global calendar. But yeah, update from volunteers. They do have a form out for volunteer requests from various departments. Of course, volunteers are a fluid thing. There's no way that they can ever tell you, yes, you will definitely get volunteers. But it is definitely good for them to know where volunteers are requested and would like to be.
And also still short-staffed.
Yeah, still short-staffed. And yeah, that form closes at the end of the month. A lot of stuff does. So these next 2 weeks before we get together again, please make sure that you are on top of all the things that you should be on top of.
It's almost like there's deadlines coming up, like a slide might have told us about.
So yeah, vouching, this is the really big one. I know we've been dancing around this for a while now. I've probably gotten at least partial vouching lists from almost half the departments. So thank you to those of you who have done that. Everybody, they are due at the end of January, and they really are. We're going to start being mean if you don't have them in at the end of January. So please do get those in. Again, we're just trying to make sure that all staff feels confident that they're getting the things that they are earning for doing everything they're doing for the con. I want to make staffing Anime Detour something that actually feels good. So please help us keep this organized. I know I've introduced a lot of new forms and a lot of new paperwork, which is everybody's favorite thing this year. I swear the goal is to make things simpler and easier and not be sweating in March. For those of you who don't already know, I'm possibly going to be insanely busy with my actual job in March.
Oh, no.
So I really don't want too many things that I need to do, which there will be anyway. So I'm not going to read this whole thing again. I think you all know what staff vouching is at this point. It's due soon. And of course, if you have not applied on Eventney as a staff person, please do that immediately.
Yeah, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, how can you tell if you did? How can you tell if you did apply on event?
Yeah, so you should have an email confirmation, but
Email staffing,
Yeah.
and they can confirm if you have an Eventney application in or not.
You know, I'm old now.
yeah, I mean, you can also log into Eventney and
Well,
look at it
if
there.
you remember his login, which is always the trick there too.
Also true, but yeah. But yeah, I would say email staffing, email your department head, should be able to know who's on their list
Yes, you
in
have.
Eventney.
You have, Dave.
Sorry,
The one thing the Eventney app will let me do is check volunteers. Otherwise, that app is garbage.
Hey. All right. Interdepartment communication, we've said this before as well, but I'll repeat it again. Anybody you're reaching out to that you don't know especially well, please use email. Once you know them, talk however the heck you want to. I don't care. Secret servers are perfectly fine. As always, I have the links here for the global calendar, and I will bring that up. Again, we have a few deadlines. So the two that are coming up now, I need to zoom in again.
You need to close the PowerPoint though.
Did it not? Okay. Boo.
It was back out of the presentation.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the two deadlines that we have coming up here, volunteers, we already mentioned it. The volunteer support request form, so the link is right there, and that is red for just about every department. A few are orange, meaning they're not sure if you totally definitely need volunteers, but if you do, let them know. So nearly everybody should be thinking about that at least, and then staff vouchers we just discussed as well. So no surprises, that's kind of a good thing. And then, yeah, looking ahead a little bit, February deadlines for radio requests as well as event support requests. That is if you need line wrangling, correct? Ops.
Huh?
Event support requests is if you're putting on something that you think is going to be crowded and you want line wrangling of some
Effectively
kind.
that. There may be other things too that could fall into that.
No
I have no
escorts.
idea what those could be.
Okay.
Yeah, no escorts.
Okay.
That's on you if you need an escort other than, you know, walk across the street to Vizier.
Gotcha.
We're not doing that last year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's entirely possible it's something that we haven't imagined could come up that falls into what's appropriate for that. So, but effectively line wrangling.
Okay. So yeah, if there is something where you think ops staff need to be on hand to help support what you are trying to run, do fill that out. And then I know that we're going to have a whole bunch of February deadlines for the programming book. I've talked to Colin a little bit. He's supposed to put together those deadlines very shortly, so they're not in here right now, but they will certainly be coming, and that applies to pretty much every department. There's at least a little blurb. A lot of them don't change year to year, but it is good to at least look it over and make sure that you like it. And that will be staggered, the same as it was last year, because we know that some things change more readily toward the end. So the things that tend to fill the book and change late in the game get a little bit more time. Things that you ought to be able to know pretty soon don't get that. So those things will be due first. So if your department doesn't do a whole lot in the programming book, you will be first up to bat. So please be looking out for that. The forms directory, this exists now. I mentioned it very briefly because it was like a passing thought that I had right before the last meeting that I decided I really liked. So I know that we've sent out a lot of forms. A lot of departments have sent those out. It's easy to remember that you got an email 3 months ago and not always easy to find that email. So we're going to try to put all the forms into one spreadsheet. It is in the all staff shared drive. So everybody from staff should be able to see it. There are 3 tabs on it. So the first one is for forms which anyone can fill out, including our attendees. That one's called attendee/open. So for example, programming's panel submission form. Anyone can submit a panel. so that one goes there. The second tab is for things that all staff are interested in. That one's called All Staff. So things like the staff housing forms are in there. And then the third tab is department heads only. So if you're not a department head or a subhead working on something your department head asked you to do, you probably don't have to worry about that one. If you are a department head, you very much should worry about that one and make sure that you filled out everything you need to fill out. Right now, I said only operations, including myself and the chair team, have uploaded all of their forms to the directory, or not uploaded, just put the links in. But yeah, so a lot of forms have been sent out and not currently listed on the directory. I know, I just put this thing up, so I'm not that angry about it. But please do, if you're a department head, if you have created a form this year, or if you're using an old form, try to get the link in the directory on the correct tab to make it way easier for people to go look at that one time and go, oh, right, there's these 2 other forms I should fill out and get it done. Any questions on that? Next meeting. We will be back in a little under 3 weeks, so that is Saturday, February 8th at 1 p.m., our usual time. St. Louis Park Library, also called the Hennepin County Library, like most of them are, but you'll probably find it listed as St. Louis Park Library. There's the address, and then there are only 2 more meetings after that. Obviously, we're getting close. And we've said it 1,000 times, and we'll say it 1,000 more. Battle plan on March 15th. We will have multiple training sessions. We will have multiple things of sort of, here is the schedule. Here is how we expect things to be rolling out. We do want a representative, if not the head, somebody the head has assigned, from every single department at that battle plan meeting. It's important. We've never done this before, and I think we're too big a staff not to do something like this. So we are definitely putting that together this year. So,
If we, for some reason, all of our staff, could come, do you want, as many staff there as possible?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. If we can fill the room, that will be great. So yeah, we want a representative from every department. We are happy to have the whole dang department.
Dave?
Will the battle plan meeting take place at the hotel?
That's not the plan at this point, but I don't know that we've actually selected a spot for it. So if that makes sense to do, maybe there's always the balance of making people pay for parking or somehow get downtown versus being in a nice big room like this. I kind of think this library would be really good, this big meeting room. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Any other questions on chat?
No.
All right. Usual how to contact us, chairman@animatedtour.com is the easiest way.
If anybody's interested in the applications, they are in the description for leadership application and general staff application.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, make sure you sign in, whether by the QR code here or by making a comment in the chat and then following the link in the
Description.
YouTube.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, there should be a link at the top of the YouTube. All right. If we have nothing further, we'll end the streamed part of the meeting and go to the meeting after the meeting.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Cool.